But life isn't hard to manage when you've nothing to lose. When you love, you wish to do things for, you wish to sacrifice for, you wish to serve. When people talk, listen completely. Don't be thinking what you're going to say. Most people never listen. The way to make people trustworthy is to trust them. But man is not made for defeat. A man can be destroyed but not defeated. Every day is a new day. It is better to be lucky, but I would rather be exact. Then when luck comes, you are ready. You will be good to me, won't you? Because we're going to have a strange life. I may not be as strong as I think, but I know many tricks and I have resolution. If the others heard me talking out loud, they would think that I am crazy. But since I am not crazy, I do not care. There is no friend as loyal as a book. So now do not worry, take what you have, and do your work, and you will have a long life and a very merry one. The world is a fine place and worth fighting for, and I hate very much to leave it. Never think that war, no matter how necessary nor how justified, is not a crime. Ask the infantry and ask the dead. Discipline must come from trust and confidence. You have never heard me talk much. But an intelligent man is sometimes forced to be drunk to spend his time with fools. I loved you when I saw you today, and I loved you always, but I never saw you before. You can't get away from yourself by moving from one place to another. I looked at myself in the mirror of the big armoire beside the bed. Of all the ways to be wounded, I suppose it was funny. As I went downstairs, I heard Bill singing, irony and pity. When you're feeling oh, give them irony and give them pity. Nobody that ever left their own country ever wrote anything worth printing, not even in the newspapers. The three of us sat at the table, and it seemed as though about 6 people were missing. Then I went on, and my feet seemed to be a long way off, and everything seemed to come from a long way off, and I could hear my feet walking a great distance away. I mistrust all frank and simple people, especially when their stories hold together. It was like certain dinners I remember from the war. There was much wine, an ignored tension, a feeling of things coming that you could not prevent happening. I hated to leave France. Life was so simple in France that I felt I was a fool to be going back into Spain. In Spain you could not tell about anything. I had the feeling as in a nightmare of it all being something repeated, something I had been through and that now I must go through again. Everything about him was old except his eyes, and they were the same color as the sea and were cheerful and undefeated. The story was writing itself and I was having a hard time keeping up with it. He liked the works of his friends, which is beautiful as loyalty but can be disastrous as judgment. If you are lucky enough to have lived in Paris as a young man, then wherever you go for the rest of your life it stays with you, for Paris is a movable feast. His talent was as natural as the pattern made by dust on a butterfly's wings. No, that is the great fallacy, the wisdom of old men, they do not grow wise, they grow careful. This was a big storm and he might as well enjoy it. That it was ruining everything, but you might as well enjoy it. He was just a coward, and that was the worst luck many could have. I suppose if a man has something once, always something of it remains. Now for everyone there should be someone to whom one can speak frankly, for all the valor that one could have won becomes very alone. My life used to be full of everything, now if you aren't with me I haven't a thing in the world. Now I am depressed myself, I said. That's why I never think about these things that I never think, and yet when I begin to talk I say the things I have found out in my mind without thinking.